So I'm going to do a road trip from the new car, and you can decide whether it's quieter. We think it's quieter. The only problem is the dashboard, that above the dashboard is higher, so I'm having to hold this up higher over the dashboard. But don't worry, I'll manage. Don't worry about me. That's what I say to Mark. Don't worry about me. Of course, that makes him worry about me, which is the plan. Now, there's not much gap between the dashboard and the ceiling and the roof for filming. So we're off to pick up the shopping, and we need button batteries. My key fob doesn't work, we found out yesterday. So still haven't driven this car, apart from reversing it out of the carport the other day. That noise is the rear windscreen wiper scraping glass off the window at the back. I think this is going to be a short vlog. It's really hard to hold this still at this height. The sky's still looking nice. I don't know what. I don't think they're the same clouds. I think they're something cirrus. It might be alto cirrus as opposed to alto cumulus. Coming this way because we still think there's a possibility that the other road is closed, but I think it's quieter on this road again now, so I think that diversion is finished. Got ahead of myself this morning and have prepared dinner so that I don't have to do much when we get back after shopping and putting shopping away and everything. It's all almost ready to go. I've made sausage plat, but with pre-made pastry. I didn't make the pastry. I bought that the other day. Sausage meat, which I added some pepper and some sage to. Tempting to try some before we left. I was quite hungry, and it's only, time is it, 9:30? But I've got another 4 hours. 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1, 3.5 hours. And the diversion signs have gone, so that was quite short-lived. date is it? Is it the 27th, 28th of September?
I don't know.
I think it's around the 27th. And everything's been harvested. That would have been, I think, trying to work out whether that would have been... No, it's not sunflowers. Well, it might have been sunflowers. That also... So when they do the sunflowers, they leave stalks. And then I suppose they get ploughed in for the next crop. There's already a crop in there. I don't know what that is. It might be, I don't know, it might be a cover crop. And there's a crop in that field as well, which will probably be winter barley. You'd think I know about agriculture, don't you? I don't. I just make wild guesses. This is Lane Fontaine. My daughter lived here for a while. She's coming back soon, coming back nearer to us, 20 minutes away. Less than 3 weeks now. The house has been cleaned and she did patched up some of the holes that her shitbag tenant had punched into the plasterboard. She's going to do some painting on Saturday. She's going to paint the bedroom. She's got very big sort of patio doors at the front of the house because it was a big barn, so the big expanse of glass at the front and a court, like an internal courtyard, and the dogs get very upset anything passing by, and cats come and stand and tease the dogs bark, so she's bought something to put on the glass to obscure it, so I hope that works out. Got 2 new toilets. This is the first time she's had new toilets for a long time. It's amazing what makes you happy, isn't it? That's something that's very different here to the UK. There's another thing I thought of the other day. So all the verges and these trees along the edge of the road and are cared for consistently at least twice a year, if not more. So the verges mostly are kept clean. And I notice when we go back to the UK how wild the verges are and how blocked road signs get by overgrown shrubs and trees. There was something else I thought of the other day that was sort of quite distinctly different, and now I can't think of it, of course. Oh, I know what it was. To do with going for a pee. I remember years and years and years ago, I was in Devon, in Tavistock, with a previous person, not the person sitting next to me driving, and I needed the loo condabitude desperately, and I went into a pub, and I still don't like going in to places to use the toilet if I'm not using their other facilities or buying from them. But I went into this pub and I got shouted at on the way out. And then more recently, although still quite a while ago, we were on our way to visit friends over on the Isle of Sheppey, and again I needed desperately the toilet, and we'd got lost, and I went into a pub and it was empty. There was nobody in there, and I stood waiting thinking, oh well, I need to ask, can I use your toilet? But there was nobody, so I just had to go. So I went, and I came out and he really went for me, and he said, you know, why don't you use your own loo? And I said, well, because it's in France. That shut him up. And then I said, you know, sorry, but you weren't here. I waited, but... And then I told him that we were lost and asked for directions. But they were so nasty. And yet here, I could go in any store, any shop, if they've got a toilet, and use it. And nobody questions. Nobody... Because you normally have been a customer at some point, or maybe will be a customer in the future, but nobody says, you know, gives you a hard time for using their loo. That's a big difference for me. Yeah, big difference. And another thing that's different is parking. For us here in the countryside, not in the cities, you pay to park in the city, but for us here, we don't pay to park. We're on our way to Chauvigny. If we were to want to go into the town, which we're not, we're going through to Leclerc, but we wouldn't have to pay to park. And likewise in Saint-Savin or Leblanc, you don't pay to park. Oh, I don't know. Those... No, they're not paying, are those parking spaces along by the banks in Leblanc? No, they're not. No. So no paying to park. Got a very quiet chauffeur today. Normally he interjects. Interjects, not introjects.
Yeah, make your mind up.
I made my mind up. Interjects. How's it going?
Nice.
Is it? Do you think you'll keep it?
Trying in different modes at the moment.
You're on eco mode, are you?
Eco mode at the moment.
And what does eco mode do?
It makes it more economical.
Does it?
Tried the sport mode to start with.
Oh, did
nice.
you?
Yeah. See,
You didn't tell me.
all these fears and anxieties you were expecting. Oh, you must never use sport mode. Tried it, you didn't notice.
75-year-old using sport mode. I don't know.
Through the various displays, as far as I could tell, I think it said somewhere in the manual, it will not display the time.
It's funny, isn't it?
It's odd, isn't it?
Oh, here's the time though, look. 9:37.
Oh, there. Oh.
Bit small, but that's because you've got that turned on.
Oh, that's all right.
But we're used to having a much larger display sort of in front of you, aren't
What that
you?
screen is.
It's the infotainment.
Yeah, I know what they call the
Stupid
screen.
thing.
I don't really understand what's on it.
Convenience consumers. Convenience consumers. Sorry, this is what we're looking at.
Sounds like people in the supermarket.
It does, doesn't it? And it's a picture of the interior of a car. Anyway, gonna stop now. Hope I've not bored you too much. I like the recommendation of the achy whiny something channel. That sounds like a good thing. And somebody suggested that my neighbour needed teaching a lesson. He is not receptive to being taught, so you just have to... Shunning him is the best thing for him. He hates it. Just ignoring him, it's like he doesn't exist, and that is the better way to deal with him. There is no other way.
It would only escalate.
Yeah, so it becomes a game. So we don't play games with him, we just shun him, and that's a good thing. What else? I think that's it. Okay, see you next time.